So we've come out today to our local country park just to put up a couple of tents. The first one is the Xmid 2-person, which is the one that we've been using quite a bit recently. Really love it. A lightweight trekking pole tent that goes up really quickly. So we're going to put that up and I'm going to show you around that one. And our new tent, the Terra Nova Northernlite 2. This is going to be our 4-season tent. We're hoping it's going to be as good as the reviews show. So let's get them set up. So first of all, we'll put up the Xmid 2. Very easy tent to put up. Right, so to put this tent up, all you really need is the 4 stakes in the main corners. You can just use normal trekking poles. I've got the Lecky poles that I use. They're very strong and good. But we have bought the Durston X-Mid carbon poles. You can see the difference in the size. So they literally just click together. And then you've got an adjuster there, which you can raise to the right height. So for this, I'm just going to use the Wild Country V-shaped pegs. They're great. We love them. It goes in all the different grounds. But we have also got the MSR ground hob minis. They're also very good, but personally, I think we prefer the Wild Country. So it's just a case of putting in your 4 pegs in the corners. The main thing with this tent is just to make sure that you keep it as square as possible. Ground's surprisingly hard here. So try and keep it square and taut. Pretty much like that. So these poles now just come into this area here. You unzip that in here, and that tip just goes straight into there. Put it up till it's tensioned, somewhere around there for a minute. Zip that down. Same again. Into there. This is a pitch all at once tent as well, so it puts the inner and the outer, and we've got the optional footprint as well, which I've attached, and it all goes up at once. And that is pretty much it. You guy out these 2 main points here, which gives you the ridge structure, which I'm not going to bother to do now. Yeah, so inside, on the door you have a magnetic clasp, which just goes over. It's a nice touch. You have the J-type opening door. Same both sides. It's symmetrical. One of the things that I would change on the tent, there's only actually 2. One is this. It's only Velcro, but it's just, why didn't they put a bit of magnetic on the same as the outside? The other thing I would change is that the door only zips up one way, rather than having a 2-way zip, so you could just get a bit of ventilation from the top. So inside the tent, there's more than enough room for 2 people. It's a bit of a palace really. You've got 4 main pockets that you can stuff things in. This one's really good for putting a phone up into. If you're laying down in the evening, you can watch your phone. Not that we do that too often, but it's a nice touch. And because it's like an offset shape, you've got plenty of room at the bottom here to put your bags and your clothes and your electrics, even though we have the 2 wide mats. So that's really handy. This is the X-Flick poles being used here. Like I say, they're carbon fibre. They've been really strong actually. We've had this tent out in some right stormy conditions, and they've been great. So yeah, so that's the Xmid. Xmid 2, lightweight, great tent. So that's pretty much the Xmid 2 setup. It's a bit baggy in the corners. When you get it pitched up like that, all you have to do is adjust your pitch slightly. But yeah, so that's that one. Now we'll move on to the Northernlite 2. Put this up next to there now. With this tent you get the poles in that bag there, and you get 15 tent pegs. And obviously it's got the nice burrito bag, so it's very easy to put it in and out. And then here we have the tent. I'll just get this unrolled. Pretty much it. I think footprint wise it's probably much the same sort of size. These are the tent poles it comes with, and you have to be fairly careful. They just sort of all spring together, but you obviously don't want to force anything. As you can tell, it's the first time putting this up. I've only watched a few videos on YouTube. It is very easy. There you go, and then you bring this over here, and on each side you have a blue tab that goes in the outside one, in the 4 places. Make sure that's underneath on both sides before you carry on. Then basically all you have to do is go around and clip up these clips. Very impressed with the quality of the feel of the tent so far. Materials feel really good. This one goes into there on that there, and into there. Then it's just a case of starting to pick it out. These are the tent pegs that come with the Northernlite. They're Terra Nova Terra Firma pegs, sort of like Y-shaped. Start with the blue ones again. Peg them out first. And there's plenty of guy out points. I suppose being a 4-season tent, got plenty so that it's nice and taut. But you can see right from being the first time pitching it, it's not taking very long at all. And again, the good thing with this tent is it does go up inner and outer at the same time. Likewise, you can pitch it just the outer on its own if you want to. So there are a few more guy out points. The main ones are part of the structure of the tent. And they both got like a little buckle inside that hold it out. You've got these ones here. And you'll see when you get inside, this one has a zip vent which makes that completely open for good ventilation, so you shouldn't get condensation. At least that's the plan. Let's face it, nearly always get condensation if the weather's a bit dreary outside. It's all part of the joys. So it's got this big storm flap that runs all the way down. It's got pieces of Velcro that Velcro it away. And then, unlike the Xmid, it does have the 2-way zip. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the magnetic clips of the Xmid. If only we could have it all, eh? So inside it's got a nice large vestibule. In fact, I think it's probably every bit as big as the Xmid, and obviously again it's symmetrical, so it's got 2 of those. Obviously I've not pitched it perfectly. It's a bit uneven ground, but You can see there's plenty of room. I'm 6'3", and still got headroom there, and my feet aren't touching the bottom. We've got a half mesh for ventilation there, and then as I was saying earlier, it's got a zip there that you can undo and obviously put away neatly when you want to, and you can undo from inside there. You can undo those zips. That leads straight out to that vent to the outside that we were talking about, and you've got that at both ends. Plus you've got the vents in the side here. Like I say, I'm sitting up. I've still got room above my head. Probably not quite as much as the Xmid, but more than ample to sit up in. Yeah, so really impressed with it. Can't wait to get out in it now. So I use these Lecky trekking poles. They've been fantastic actually, can't recommend them enough. The little trick with this tent is if it's very windy, you want to shore up the tent, what you do is up inside here, there's a pocket there. Insert your pole, handle side, not the other side, or you'll make a big hole in your tent. Lock it off, and then what that does is it makes it really stable. So I'll show you the difference. So that's it there, look. Got barely any movement whatsoever. I'll show you around this side. But if the weather turns bad, you do have the option. I'll show you the same this side as well. Again, handle side inside that flap. Pull it up, lock it off, zip it back up, and now the thing is like an absolute tank. Yeah, so now with the trekking poles in place, you can see it really is like a tank. I can't wait to get out in the windy conditions and give that a good test. Only really need to use that if it is really windy, because it's got enough structure about it with all the pegging out points and obviously the DAC poles that it uses. But that really is a good feature. I do like that a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little video, a little review on the two tents that we've now got. We've got some wild camping coming up, staying at a small campsite in Snowdonia next, in the Ogwen Valley. And then after that, we're heading to Dartmoor to wild camp, big circular hike planned there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our video, and I'll catch you very soon for another one. Cheers, guys.